Hi, welcome to the Performance Podcast. We have an amazing sports psychologist here with us today. She was also a cricketer for a very, very long time. I think she still has the heart of a cricketer. We have here with us today Rashmeka. Hi, Rashmeka.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. So thank you for having me.
I'd like you to just introduce yourself for our viewers.
Sure. So right now I'm actually doing my PhD in sports psychology, and so I'm in my second year, and so I've actually had the fortune of being an athlete myself. I initially transitioned from javelin throw to cricket. I've been a cricketer for too long, to be very honest. I would say for around 7 years. And then I wanted to pursue sports psychology, so right now I'm doing that. And obviously I've been into freelance and I've pursued it as a practitioner as well, learning my way through. So yeah, that's where I am.
Do you remember the first time sport made you feel something deeply? Was it cricket or was it some other sport? Was it javelin perhaps?
Yeah, I think the first ever time I think sport really hit me was actually when I was in my 9th standard. So I have been into sports since the age of 10.
Okay.
I was into track and field, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, which event I wanted to pick, and I think javelin was something that I wanted to pursue because I was very amazed with the combination of the skill and the power that it holds. So I think that's how it started, and I was in one of these state meets where I could experience an intense mix of emotions, where there was, nervousness, there's excitement, and I won that particular state meet, and the satisfaction that you get, the happiness out of it was something that really ringed my mind, and I was like, okay, this is something that I really wanted to pursue. So I think that was my first ever instance of sports, making a difference in how I wanted to be and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's amazing to hear. So since you felt something so deeply with javelin, first two questions here. What made you shift from javelin to cricket? And then what nudged you to shift between cricket and sports psychology?
I think it's just the game of life, I would say. It was a very consequential decision, honestly. So I was into javelin and I was doing pretty well for myself. And I met with a two-wheeler accident in Chennai.
Okay.
I injured, I had 2 ligament tears on my right ankle. I had a complete tear. And orthos, obviously, in those times, 10 years ago, were very conservative. So they suggested that I couldn't pursue javelin. So I think for us, when I was let's say an 18-year-old, I think we are very naive about, what body can do. And, now the amount of knowledge and awareness you have, I don't think you had that at that point. So I think I just believed what they say. But today, I do feel if it had happened today, I definitely feel that I would have still pursued javelin. But whatever it is, life took a different turn. I had a proper 1 month bed rest and went through all the breakdowns typically an athlete would go through.
Absolutely.
And for you to having to end a sport even when you're not ready for it, I think is the biggest pain that you can go through as an athlete.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what happened, and I went to a therapist.
Okay.
And I wanted to, probably get myself in a better space.
Right.
And then he suggested very randomly, you're such a sport geek. I think you should probably, play an alternative sport that your body can probably adjust with.
Wow.
So that I could distract from the, the whole mess that I was going through. So that's how cricket happened.
Awesome.
Coincidentally, my college actually had a vacancy. They were looking for a player, and they approached me because they thought I would be good at throwing.
I understand.
So they were like, okay, we just need a fielder. You would be good enough for it. And the first day I stood in a cricket ground, I had all my bruises covered with a gauze tape and my ankle taped. And that's how I stood, not knowing what I was going to do. And I learned the sport when I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah, 19 was when, so 18 this happened. I had a year's time of rehab, the whole recovery and stuff. And then at 19, I learned the sport. In 21, I actually started playing for TNCA.
Wow.
So that's how the switch happened.
What an amazing journey, right?
It's been, it's been quite a journey. When I look back, I'm like, okay, what made me do it? I have no clue. But one of the biggest answers I've always got was passion.
Right.
So
hence,
which we'll be talking about, but that's how.
Sometime, yes,
so that's how it happened, and consequently at 23 I realized cricket wasn't something that I could take on for a long time because there was a lot more competition, and I felt I was too late for the party. So that's how I wanted to make a difference in another athlete's life, just like someone made a difference
in yours.
So that's how very consequentially sports psychology happened.
Wow, there is a massive, very powerful personal story here. And I can see why you picked passion as your PhD topic. But before getting into your PhD topic as such, which I want to discuss in a minute, I want to understand, especially from javelin to cricket, when you transitioned, you did mention that it was very painful. Is there, I know you went to a therapist, but did you also was there anything else that also helped you transition? And I know it can be a very painful,
lonely journey.
Exactly. Not just that, one is your injury, and secondly, as you rightly mentioned, ending something that you never expected to end that quickly, right? So how did you go through that, and what are the things you felt? Because some of our audience are athletes as well, and in case they're going through some injury, I've seen a lot of athletes feel very hopeless, and I do understand why, but also to get inspired by what you do. So yes, please do.
I think one of the biggest things I would say is being able to accept. I know it's very hard to do that, but being able to accept what really happened was the basis of how I made the change. And I think second most important thing is probably finding out what else you like, just so that you can weigh off that weight of not doing what you want to do. Because I feel for me personally, javelin was my identity. So I felt like I lost my identity and all that I'd earned for let's say 4-5 years at that point. So I think that was one thing. Second thing, obviously having a family. So this is where parents come in. My parents never stopped me from doing what I wanted to do. So I still remember the first month I had the accident. 1 month later, after I was back from bed rest, they allowed me to actually ride the two-wheeler again.
Awesome.
So they never stopped me after that. I did have the trauma of riding a two-wheeler, but because my parents didn't stop me, I think I still went
continued.
So I think that's where parents come in. And thirdly, having a very good support from a physio, a rehab, SNC, very, very important. So obviously I had a therapist who was not a sport-based therapist. 10 years ago, you don't.
It's very hard.
So I think he did a great job in understanding what I was going through and at least directing me and telling me, what, you shouldn't be away from sports and instead go towards it. Because at that point when you've lost something that you love, I think you are so against it. You're like, what mistake did you make? What did I even do? I've sacrificed so much for you. And so I think all of that put together, it's like a very, I think I've been very lucky, I should say, very fortunate to have people from different fields who helped me during that period. So for me personally, I think one is seeking help, definitely. And second, for parents, making sure that your child athlete is taken care of and supported no matter what. So I think very important things.
Absolutely, I think that does make a massive difference now. And I mean, it's very inspiring, your story. I know you're very humble and you're giving a lot of credit to everyone else as well, which rightly so. But I think apart from that, it's also your resilience, isn't it? I think that is another thing that sport really teaches us, that I think only sports people can understand in that sense. Right?
But I also feel nowadays, with the way world is evolving, sorry if I seem a bit more philosophical, but I feel with the world, the way it's evolving, I feel everybody is challenged. In one way or not. The kind of personal issues we go through, the kind of, the very fact that, you need to actually deal with traffic while you are driving here. Just as simple as that. And I think you need to still keep your patience and make sure that you're doing your things and your process right. I think all of this also teaches you, in life in a way or two. But through this process, I've always felt the most important thing is for you to make sure that you believe in the process.
Yeah.
You might not be there, you might not ever be there.
Yes.
That's absolutely fine. But if you're okay with the process, I think you'll be able to deal. Yeah, it'll come through some way or the other, and you'll notice that whatever comes through is good for you. It's better for you than what you expected.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
100%. I always like a philosophical twist to things. So it makes a big difference. Yes. So yes, coming to your PhD topic, I know it's about passion. It's the psychological, physiological, and neural basis, right?
Yes.
So can you? I would say, if you can start off with, can you explain it? Not as a gist, okay? I want to know the entire thing.
Okay.
What prompted you to take that particular topic?
Yeah.
And of course, the journey would have been crazy because, I do understand that. And, and what have you found till now? I'm sure there are a lot of things that would have shocked you, that would have surprised you, that would have probably been aligned with what you thought of, because that's what PhDs do, right? And then come to, in a gist, what is it that you would, what you would tell people?
Yeah, sure.
It's a long kind of I know.
I'll need your assistance in the middle if I...
Oh, no, of course.
Okay, so I think passion by itself really means the kind of drive, the motivation, the love that you have for a certain activity. It's part of your identity. So it's something that defines you. So I think all of this put together is passion. But what we always know about passion is that we've always been told that you need to be passionate for an activity. You need to be passionate for sport. And passion, with the word itself, you would know that there's a lot of weight in it. It's never told lightly. People never tell you just passion. They'll always be passion. And there's so much of passion in it. So I think the word by itself has always been very positive. So for me, when I was starting to look through this whole topic, for me, one of the biggest inspirations for me was honestly, I felt that this construct has basically helped me deal with my life. It's been the basis of my life, honestly. And I felt whatever I've done has been because of whatever passion I've had towards that thing. So that's what led me to sports psychology. So in the the most essential way. So I think that was the reason I chose it, and I feel it's a very recently researched topic. So it's been researched from like 2003. So way more, new and recent. So there's a lot more scope. And this is something that can change an individual's life.
Of course.
So for me, that's how my life changed. So I felt if we can do something about this, we can make a lot of difference in so many lives. So that was the main reason. And with passion, we have always thought it's like one positive thing, as I said. But what happens is it's actually a dual-faceted one. So there are two faces to it. Just like a coin.
Anything else,
So there's a head, which is your harmonious passion. So as the name suggests, it's more positive. It's more harmoniously integrated with your life. And you're more in control. And the second one is obsessively passionate. So that's where, the negative consequences start to come.
Perfectionist also ends up coming sometimes,
Correct, yes. And again, we have to bear in mind that obsessive passion is not wrong. However, they will also love their sport, but they will overly love the sport. So anything in optimum level is where,
the balance
it's better. So with obsessive passionate people may get into addictive behaviors where exercise addiction comes in. You have substance usage, drug usage and all of that. Especially when they fail, things just go downward. It's bad. So knowing where to stop your passion or knowing where you've reached your glass ceiling, I think is the most hardest thing. Because when we talk about passion, it's always about pushing hard. And when I was younger, passion for me was only intensity. It was like sacrificing everything you have and just, keeping on, doing your work and working. But then I think you realize through research and through experience and obviously age, it's not about that. It's also about knowing when to take that break and giving yourself that breather and making sure that you're healthy mentally as well. So because we usually listen to our body symptoms much easily than our mind.
Yeah.
So I think that was when I was researching and I was like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So this is like a space where people haven't really looked at.
Absolutely.
So my research obviously is on just performers. So the reason I've taken, so I'm not just looking at athletes, I'm also looking at musicians and dancers.
Yeah.
Because I feel comparing it to any other, obviously I could have taken other groups, but then these are more accessible and more, I think most number of people are in it.
Yeah.
So I've taken this group so that I can understand if performing arts and sports have differences in passion. And whether the environment that we provide in both these settings are slightly different. Though it might be towards a target, it's still very varied. So I thought if the environment can actually influence it.
Makes sense.
So it's like a combination of things that I'm trying to look at. It's like a very, I would say it's a very multifaceted things that I want to look at. I want to look at the antecedents, which is the reasons. Why people choose a certain type of passion.
Correct.
And then I want to see how it develops, which is through the environment, through the activity, whether the activity by itself can develop a certain type of passion. And then finally, what I'm looking at is your physiological response. So how does your brain and your body react
to that
when you are in a certain type of passion?
Understand.
So basically, I want to create a profile. I want to create a profile for harmonious passion, and I want to create a profile for an obsessive passion. And then everybody can use that as a guideline.
Got it.
And does this restrict to be used only in performers? Actually not. It can actually be used by students as well as working professionals because they are also expected to perform. So it's like a big chunk of work, but I'm trying to start and probably, you know, as we go on, we can probably, you know, redefine based on cultural norms, based on the place that we are in and figure out if we can, you know, get like a standardized norm.
Makes
and then,
sense.
you know, we can use it for interventions, develop passion, because there are a lot of people who don't have passion altogether.
Correct.
So what if we are able to develop passion?
And is that something which is learned and things like that?
Yes, and because as you rightly said, so passion is fluid. So people who are obsessively passionate can actually get down to harmoniously passionate as well. So the fact that it's fluid and the fact that it can be developed, we can actually, you know, work with anybody and everybody.
Makes sense.
So and if let's say a student randomly is passionate about studies, it just makes a lot of difference on how they approach and how much satisfaction they gain. We can protect them from so many other negative
things.
Absolutely. From other mental health issues and stuff like that.
100%.
So, yeah, that's the entire idea. I think I've
awesome.
It's like almost like 2 years of work that I've tried to
in a gist summarize it. The gist about your PhD topic was quite amazing. I have a few follow-up questions to that. You know, culturally, I think people look at passion either as a very wrong thing or a very or as a must-have thing, right? So I've had a lot of parents come and tell me, you know, they don't have any passion towards their sport, they're so passionate about their video games and things like that. So that's on one side. And on the other side, they look at passion as aggression, especially with girls. And that's another gender you know, kind of a role I've seen. Again, this is just on practice, right? I'm sure, I don't know that, I'm sure there could be differences when you research as well. Have you noticed these kind of changes, these kind of cultural differences? That's one thing that I want to ask you. If yes, and if these things are actually true, so if you're aggressive, it's a wrong thing, and what is aggression first of all, right? Do we link passion and aggression? Do we link aggression and confidence? How does it work? And is there a gender difference that you've noticed? And have there been times when people are passionate about one thing but not able to be passionate about something else? So I know it's like 3 different questions, but yes.
Okay. So I think culturally what we define as even you know, the smallest thing changes. So what we define as a mobile phone for every person changes. So for example, I would like to give you an example, because now that I'm in Singapore, I noticed that a mobile phone in Singapore is considered the most essential thing for a small child. Like you would see a child who's like 3-year-old have a phone, operate the phone, see videos, do what they want, because they feel that's the most essential thing. So your mobile phones are actually allowed in schools as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you take India, where mobile phones are actually seen as an enemy.
Yeah.
We usually feel that if a child has a phone, they will misuse it.
Correct.
And there are a lot more negative consequences.
Yeah.
So culturally, what we look at passion, let alone mobile phones, you look at passion really changes.
Correct.
So how do you define certain things? Like, for example, how do we define our relationships?
Yeah.
That changes
Correct.
as you go west.
Correct.
Compared to that, what we define in India.
Yeah.
So definitely the meaning and the essence of passion changes. You are right to say that passion is seen, as either positive or extremely negative. So obsessive passion, the one that I said, which is more obsessed, is actually a negative form.
Got it.
But I wouldn't say it's entirely wrong to have it.
Yeah.
Because there are times where research says that when you're in a high elite, setup, obsessive passion can actually make you overcome the challenge much better than harmonious passion.
Yeah, because they probably are more resilient, right? In order to cope with.
I wouldn't say resilient. Okay. I think they feel that there's no other choice.
Okay, like that. Yeah, got it.
So sometimes they feel all they have is to push for whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
But for harmonious passion, they feel that they do want to do it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't happen, I think it's all right.
They have a choice. Yeah.
But now that's where the battle really starts. So coming to the second point about gender, so actually there hasn't been a lot of consistency, I would say. So there's no consistent results which say that women are more passionate and male are less or something like that. That's also because passion keeps evolving. So there cannot be gender differences, or rather there cannot be even age-wise differences, because you would notice with performing arts, people as they age, they're more passionate.
Okay.
Because initially they are just doing it because probably, let's say, they are into the sport, into the the performance art that they are in. So it's because their parents would have just put them in or something. But as they age, their passion really shifts.
Okay.
And they really grow and evolve through it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say age and gender could be factors that we can say, can bifurcate between, in terms of passion. But there will be tendencies.
Okay.
So I do believe that there is tendencies for male and female to go towards a particular type of passion.
Right.
So there can be tendencies, but again, I wouldn't say it's a difference.
Generalized.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as far as you spoke about the aggression, obviously with typically aggression, we usually equate it to male. Usually having more of aggression than female. That's again a tendency. You cannot always say it's that way. There. It's just the probability. And I think another thing you asked me was about whether passion and aggression are something that can be related. I think it's definitely obsessive passion.
Okay.
That can be related to aggression.
Right.
Again, obsessive passion. People with obsessive passion are more likely to be aggressive.
Okay.
Aggression need not be obsessive passion.
Understand.
Yeah?
Understood.
So people can be aggressive about things, but they need not love those things.
Yeah.
But people who have obsessive passion will essentially love the thing.
And be aggressive.
They can be aggressive.
Could be aggressive.
Yeah, it could be just an expression of their love.
Understand.
There are certain people who express their. So I think that's another thing. And finally, the last one was, sorry, I forgot.
So my last thing was about does passion change from one activity to another? So like I mentioned earlier, some kids really like to play video games, but not really a sport. So does that really change? Can that change?
I think how they define passion is what I have to come back to.
Got it.
Because I think parents usually just see the amount of time that they spend on video game and usually equate that to passion. Which need not be the case. Because sometimes people engage in an activity to satisfy something that they don't have.
They have to cope with as well.
Correct. So sometimes video games is just a way of keeping up with their self-worth, getting that satisfaction, the self-esteem, and the fact that they can dominate something. So it's like a combination of things that they're going through while they're playing video games. So it's not just plain passion.
Got it.
So I feel passion is a bit more heavy, it's a bit more intense. And the fact that parents here, especially in India, decide the kind of sport and how much, how far an athlete or their child plays the sport. I think that really impacts the kind of behavioral consequences they have.
Absolutely.
So I think sometimes especially with parents who have told their child, you are going to play this sport, they are more likely to have this kind of behaviors.
Correct.
People who choose the sport that they want to play, they are very, very sincere. They know what their body needs. They know what they need to do to make sure that they are 100% tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure from your experience you'd have seen that differences in athletes,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's the reason why people don't understand why, you know, their child is overly obsessed with video game or something else.
Yeah.
And as far as passion is concerned, it can spill over. So there's a lot of research which says that people who are passionate about sports can actually have a spillover effect on their academics as well.
Wow. Okay.
So people do say, there's a lot of research earlier which said that people who are good at sports can be good at academics as well.
Yeah.
So I think a reason for it or a mechanism that could be passion.
Got it.
So that's why I was saying, when I was talking about passion and why it's important, I was talking about how everything that people do as athletes, as performers, can actually spill over to their education and their working environment as well. So that's where it becomes a bit more like a very important and a prominent construct.
Absolutely. Got it. I think it's this is super interesting, and I'm just wondering what would happen if a coach, a parent, of course the support staff as well, would know about both the types, because I feel like obsessive passion is kind of glamorized, and people kind of say, okay, this is amazing, and sometimes they actually like aggression. And I'm wondering how that would help. Do you think that would actually help if the coaches, the support staff, the parents actually know the actual, I'm talking about psychoeducation here. So if they are psychoeducated with regard to passion, do you think things will change?
It definitely will. Because I think culturally we are always told to sacrifice all that we have, the entire life. We usually feel that athletes should have only the sport as their life. And the fact that when they do that, it's going to lead to a lot more negative consequences than the sport performance. Definitely for short term, it will give you results. Because that's how essentially it works. But post that, after 6 months, after 1 year, you don't see any growth. And there's a lot more deterioration. Deterioration not just in terms of performance, in terms of body, but also in terms of the mental health issues that they face.
Burnouts.
Absolutely. Because obsessive passion can actually push you towards a range of negative mental health issues, starting from depression, anxiety to sport. Actually, they would actually leave the sport. So there's a lot more sport, dropout as well. So when the coaches and the support staff as well as the parents are aware, I feel parents and coaches play the most important role. The support staff, I think support staff usually are aware. They know when their athletes are pushing too much, because they always tell you to make sure that you balance. So with parents and coaches, what's more important to understand is there is always a limit up till where you should, and understand this, that the child needs other parts of life as well.
Absolutely.
They need not sacrifice life in order to play the sport. They can balance it, and they can live their life as well. So I think if coaches are aware, I think it will make a lot of difference. It can protect the athlete long term. And really make a difference in how long they play the sport.
Absolutely.
Because when you see recently the amount, you would have seen so many people retiring so early at the age of 26, 24. The reason why they do that is because they've been so obsessive about the sport. They've done all that they can. And when you do that much and when you don't get the results, I think it just,
even if they get the results, I think it's still like a recipe for burnout. I do completely agree with you. And another thing I've observed, especially from our conversation right now, I feel like if parents get to understand the real concept of passion, right? I feel like a lot of things could change. I think we need to do a research on perceptions of passionate behavior actually. Because I think the way parents perceive a certain thing is also different. So I'll give you an example and why I'm saying this. So there's this female athlete with sports I'm not going to disclose, and I think she was all of 14 or 15, right? And that's when they're kind of experimenting with themselves, exploring themselves and everything. And I remember her father saying, she shouldn't be coloring her nails, even if there's no school.
Okay.
Because she has to just go and play the sport.
Yeah.
It's a distraction. You know, she's supposed to be super passionate, and if she colors her nails, she's not passionate about it.
Correct.
And to me, I felt like something was off there. But of course, see, this is a simple example of everyday narratives being set because people are not aware of what passion truly is and what obsessive passion could do, the detrimental effects of obsessive passion. So yeah, I really hope we get to the place where we can actually psychoeducate the support system.
Correct.
You know, in order to just kind of understand the effects of passion both ways.
Correct. And I think one more point I would like to add here, because you brought it up, is that I think we need to be aware that passion is not just about the hard work. It's also about enjoying, which I think most of us have lost. And I think it's become so performance oriented. And people, have no longer, I think they've lost the sight of the fact that sports essentially is done to enjoy. And only when you enjoy, you can do your best. And it should give you that satisfaction and that
just
happiness.
That feeling,
Yes, and I think when you essentially understand passion, you would know passion is not about results. It's about the process and probably enjoying the process and doing what you love. And they emphasize the word. So passion emphasizes this word love so much to tell you what it should really make you feel. So I think just adding on to what you said, definitely parents and coaches should understand that it's about enjoyment. And as much as we can emphasize, it's going to be less for how it's going, but as much as we can, I think it's important.
Yes. So any summarizing points that you'd like to make as we wrap up? Anything at all?
All right. I think if I have to say something, obviously not old enough to advise, but but I think from all the learning that I've done as an athlete, as a sports psychologist now, the only thing I would say is probably always have a very never die attitude. Obviously, it's very difficult to have, but the only thing I would say is just believe in the process. And with every athlete I've worked with, every person I've spoken to, they might think what happened to them was bad, but let's say a few years down the line when I ask them, they're like, okay, that was the best thing that happened, even if it was negative. So just trust in that process and keep doing what you do. And the most important thing is love what you do, enjoy whatever you do, to whatever extent it could be. And I think, end of the day, everything would, seem pretty nice and chill, and you would be very happy things happen that way. So, I think, that's about it. And for people who want to take up sports, I think sports or sports science, now that, the sports science fraternity is booming madly. I had to solo kuda do. It's all right. Okay. All right. So for the sports science, since sports science is really booming, I think another thing for them would be to make sure that, they know what they want to do by trying out. Don't be afraid to get to the grassroots. Because that's
passionate about this.
Yes, passionate about it, definitely. And I think grassroots is where I feel you can make a difference.
Absolutely, exactly.
Because I feel while I've worked with grassroots, that's where I've learned the most. And the best thing is that they give you time. Unlike the elite sport where you have to, don't have time.
That's true.
I think grassroots give you that time. So don't be afraid to try it out with grassroots, because you learn through that, you grow through that, and you can really make a difference. So end of the day, the purpose for any of the sports scientists is that you want to make difference in an athlete's life. And tomorrow, you get that satisfaction by seeing that change. And what it can do for that athlete. And one day, just like I probably spoke about my therapist, one day that person does say that, that one decision, that one advice or a guidance that I got changed what I looked in life and what I did in life. And I think that's the most satisfying and the most important thing for us. So I think for everyone who wants to pursue sports science, I'm pretty sure each one of us will have room in India to create our own space and make a difference. So I think we should all, make sure that we are ethically there. We know what we are doing, and make sure that, we are giving 100%.
Absolutely. So it was lovely. It was
Thank
lovely catching up with you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being part of this podcast.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you for the valuable insights as well that you shared, because I think this is a very, very new field, new topic of research as well, and can be applied in any aspect, even if they want to start working in sports science. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.